Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, thank you guys so much for showing up today on this pre-Halloween / Samhain Sunday. My name is Alex Thompson, and I am your worship leader for today. You guys may know me from various roles that I have played, from being a board member to being just that random redhead to being the one with the baby who is turning 1 this week, by the way. Can you believe it? I know. I remember texting everybody when I was in labor, and I remember texting Teresa specifically, and she was just like, oh my God. Yeah, we're a year past that now. Thank you to everybody for showing up today, and especially thank you to our Quantum Church. Everybody turn around, say hi to the Quantum Church. Hello, you in the ether, through the internets. Hello, and welcome to service today. At Smooth, whoever you are, however you identify yourself, whomever you love, and wherever you are on your own spiritual, religious, and personal journey, you are welcome here in this free and open community of seekers, finders, and doers. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to ring the chimes really quick, and we will do the chalice lighting. As Brooke lights the chalice, we are reminded of the time that we are in with these words from Lisa Garcia Sampson. This is called The Great Turning. In these wild, historic, and uncertain times, we gather to remember who we are, who we belong to, and what we are called to do. As we light this chalice, we kindle the spirit of the Great Turning, the movement for justice alive in this nation today. May we feel it in our bones, and in the stillness of this hour, may we sense it calling our name. And then I will also do the call to presence, which is another reading. This is Wind, Water, and Sun by Seth Carrier-Ladd. This is perfectly appropriate because it's a beautiful day outside. Hopefully we get rain later this week, though. We're supposed to get rain on Halloween. I know, right? Give us rain. This is Wind, Water, and Sun by Seth Carrier-Ladd. Wind that whispers through the willow trees, sun that sustains us, water that washes over willing earth and weathered stones, a smile shared and savored, a child's squeal of delight as she dances in the daisies and daffodils, the quiet joy of gathered community. This is the spirit of life and love that we call forth now into this gathering. May this spirit infuse our hearts, fill our souls, and carry us forward like a wave on the ocean as we now enter into this sacred time and space. Come, let us worship together. And if everybody can turn to page 123 for our intro hymn, Spirit of Life. And I now believe that there is a second song.
Yes.
Yes.
Sing for justice, it'll appear.
It'll appear on your screen. This is Sing for Justice. Everybody can stand. If you know the tune or the words, go for it.
Justice is love's public story, open to all. Our mind is one of difference, notes and chords of lived experience. All who want peace sing for justice, join in the call. If you want peace, sing for justice, gather in song. Here we join with friends and strangers, all may belong. You who bring all fear or sorrow, help us sing a new tomorrow. If you want peace, sing for justice, gather in song. We who want peace work for justice, so shall we grow. We will work to see the day when all may be whole. Naming truths, all burdens bearing, singing, sharing, learning, caring. We who want peace work for justice, so shall we grow.
Beautiful, everybody. And now Brooke is going to lead us in our covenant, so if everybody remains standing.
Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To treat each other and the earth gently, to celebrate our differences and cherish what we share. To work together for justice and the common good, and to keep our minds always open to new possibilities. Thus we do covenant with one another.
And then everybody can say hi to one another as we do our passing of the peace. You can say hi if you want. You don't have to, but yeah.
We should pass some peace together too.
Yes, I know. Hello. Congrats on the 1-year-old. How's the other one?
The other one is about to be 4. He'll be 4 in December.
My hands will totally get hurt.
Yeah, he doesn't live with me, so it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Place him for adoption, but we have an open adoption. Yeah.
He has 2 dads.
He's in a boy-centric household. The only girl there is their cat. Poor Eleanor. I hope everybody was able to say hello to those who they love and even those that they like. Now it is time for the offering. Now is the time when we give in support of our values, mission, and vision. So our current donation, or our Donate the Plate for this month is to the Lost River Film Fest, but since Lost River is now over, raise your hand if you went to Lost River. Go, Becky. Good. I know. Yes, everything is going to us today, unless you notated otherwise in your donation. There's guidance on the screen for electronic giving, and if you are so inclined and you want to donate in person, we have the basket right up here next to the water and the pebbles. Unless otherwise designated, like I said, today, all offerings given today will go to the Smoot General Fund. And now I invite the choir up to sing our offertory. This is the Samhain hymn.
Position. While we're getting in position, I'd just like to say a word about Samhain. The song is called the Samhain Hymn. I have the wrong. And if you're not familiar with Samhain, it's a Gaelic festival that's actually on November 1st. It marks the end of the harvest season and the beginning of the winter or the darker half of the year. It's believed to have Celtic pagan origins, and some Neolithic passage tombs in Great Britain and Ireland are aligned with the sunrise at the time of Samhain. It was a time, they called it a liminal or threshold festival, when the boundary between this world and the other world blurred, making contact with the spirits of ancestors and or the fairies, possibly. Most scholars see the fairies as remnants of pagan gods. At Samhain, they were appeased with offerings of food and drink to ensure the people and livestock survived the winter. And people also honored their kin who had passed on, and they put things up at the table for them so that they could come and visit on Samhain. You're going to do that.
Welcome winter, waning season, now with night the new year comes. All who honor elder kinsfolk dance a dead to earthly drums. Souls respected
And now is the time for all ages. And we have a little story about Samhain. Isaac, you want to come up and listen? We don't have it up on, we don't have like any images on the screen, so I will just read it aloud to you. Yeah. So this is a little short story called The Festival of Samhain by Bonnie McCain. Why is there Halloween? Asked 10-year-old Sean one day while visiting his grandfather, who loved to tell stories. His grandfather pondered for a few moments and then started the story the way Sean likes it best. Whew. Once upon a time, long ago, before there were computers, TVs, cars, or electricity, a time when people went from one place to another by walking or by riding a horse. A time when families gathered near the fire to stay warm as the weather turned cold. A time when children like you would listen to our stories, stories that answered their curious questions. Long before people were called Christians or pagans, there was a fair-skinned, dark-haired clan called the Celts that lived on a beautiful green island. On this island, at the end of each summer harvest, they would have a huge party called the Festival of Samhain. It marks the end of the year when the skies darken early and the weather turns cold. They know that some among them would not survive the winter. They gather and build a giant bonfire. They share the harvest with neighbors and talk with their friends. For entertainment during the celebration, the Celts would wear costumes and try to tell each other's fortunes. They had fun singing and dancing and playing all sorts of games. At the end of the celebration, they carried the embers from their bonfire to a turnip to light their fireplaces at home and to help protect them during the winter. Then, one day, the Romans conquered the Celtic lands. The Romans combined two of their festivals with the Celtic celebration of Samhain. One was Feralia, a day in late October when the Romans honored the dead. The other honored Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruit and trees. The apple is the symbol of Pomona. Is that why we play bobbing for apples on Halloween, Grandpa? Asked Sean. Yes, that's right, said Sean's grandfather. Many years later, Christianity spread to the Celtic lands. The Pope replaced the Celtic festival with a religious holiday. November 1st became All Hallowmas, or All Saints' Day. The night before, which was the night of Samhain, became All Hallows' Eve, eventually Halloween as we know it today. The celebration remained similar to Samhain. They still had bonfires, costumes, parties, and parades. When Europeans came to America, they brought their Halloween traditions with them. As all the traditions of different ethnic groups meshed, an American version appeared. The dressing up in costumes, going from house to house, and asking for food or money are customs from Ireland and England. These customs became America's trick-or-treat tradition. When the Irish, originally the Celts, came to America, they found pumpkins to be more plentiful than the turnips they were used to. So they started using the pumpkins for what we call jack-o'-lanterns. A hollowed-out pumpkin became the American jack-o'-lantern, which I think is personally better than a turnip. I don't know about you guys. Sean's grandfather stopped to look at his watch. Well, it's time to go put on your costume, Sean. The party will be starting soon. Thank you, Grandpa. You tell such good stories, said Sean as he ran upstairs to find his costume. And now we will sing the children to their class, aka only Isaac. Bye, Isaac. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. It is now time to share our joys and concerns. For those of you who are new here, the way that we share joys and concerns, we have people come up from the side aisles. They come to the center, they take a pebble, and then they drop it in the water and then tell the congregation their joy or concern. It's totally okay if you're not comfortable with it, but we can keep them in our minds and still hold a place for you. You will need to stand close to the microphone, so please do that. And if you're here in the virtual space, please add your joys and concerns to the chat, and we will say them up here. Jeff can use his big booming voice, or Dan, whichever one picks up the microphone first. And after sharing, we will join back together for a time of prayer and meditation.
First, a concern. Many of you know Jeff Kester, an architect in this community. He died suddenly during a bike ride. I think one of the things he really enjoyed doing. I think he had gone on 70-mile hikes on his bike before. And his marks in the community may be seen in his architectural work. The city has employed him and Ron Balderack as architects to design many of our buildings, including the chapel that we had a service this past Friday for him, the chapel and the city cemetery. I got to know him largely as someone who came to my world religions class for many years. And he talked about the Baha'i faith, which was a good summary of many of the different religions of the world. And the faith that he sustained in that resulted in a congregation in this community, a very close-knit community. He's a friend of Unitarians. He's appeared here to speak on our behalf. And at interfaith services that we've had. I think he was known largely with his work with children. He spent a lot of time with children, and it was clear at the service on Friday how close many young people were to him. Personally, he was a close friend, and he designed some of the improvements of our old house that needed some facelifting. And we really appreciate that. A joy that I have is that my wife is beginning to walk around and getting a little sassy. And I don't know exactly how to adapt to the new her, but I'm glad to see the life coming back. Thank you.
My name is Rebecca Allen, and I have a joy, a very big joy. We have ended the glacier period. We are in an interglacial period, and we have stopped the freezing of the earth. Now we're just heating it. And all we have to do is the reverse of what we did before. And I have a conference that I've been working on. It's called Vegan Convergence of the Peoples. This is the 19th one. And one of the things we're going to be discussing is rewilding the earth, getting it to be sustainable again.
Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. I'm being directed from the back. Hello? My name is Samantha Casertano. I've kind of got not really a concern, but just, a lot of pressure at my job lately. We have 13 weeks for a new app to launch, and it's just really hectic. At least I'm not bored at work anymore, though. I guess that's good. But on that note, we desperately need a web IT admin. So please share the job posting with everybody, and let's get somebody in here to help us. Thank you.
Todd Durkis, longtime member. This is another one for Jeff Kester. A gracious, generous, compassionate guy. We're going to miss him.
All right, I'm short. Let's put it down here. Well, I have a concern for a friend of mine. Raphael Castanet and I were the co-hosts of my radio show for 4.5 years. He recently lost his wife, Marilyn, suddenly to a heart attack, and he's just grieving, and I just feel for him, and I want to hold him in my prayers.
Yeah, this is a joy for Unitarian Universalists of New Braunfels celebrating Day of the Dead this Sunday with their Day of the Dead altar, which is similar to Samhain.
This is for my longest term AA sponsor who passed away a couple weeks ago, Nancy Jo Nutt.
I want to thank all of you for coming out last week for the stewardship kickoff campaign. I appreciate all of you for being here, and I want to thank Rhoda Sterling for such a wonderful job of putting that together. And it was a real joy to work with her on that project.
I'm Erica Nielsen. It's important to say, and it may not seem believable, but I'm a Texas A&M alumni, and there was a job that was like written for me, and I applied for it, and I have an interview tomorrow. So while it may be a concern for you, I'd like you to send out good juju to me. Thank you.
I made a little graphic out on the desk, but just so you'll hear it. 23 people pledged last week, and it equaled over $45,000. So I was like floored, but of course we got some ways to go. I think our goal should be double that or a little more. So keep it. There are pledge cards out there if you want to fill one in. Thank you.
I'm Romelia Escamilla, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who's donated toward our yard sale. Our church rummage sale is going to happen next Saturday, and I hope that you will come by and see your things flying out the door. And thank you to Gail for allowing us to have it at her house. So if you know where Gail lives, please come by between 8 and 2 next Saturday, the 2nd.
Do we have anything on Zoom? No? Okay. Then I will share my joys, and then we will close. Joy, obviously, Rowan is turning a year old. I have kept a baby alive for a year, y'all. That is pretty impressive, okay? Okay. Considering y'all met me when I was 18 and very immature, and now I am almost 26, and I am a mother. It's very weird, very weird. And then yesterday we had some joy at my job. Seguin is the pecan capital of Texas, and yesterday we had our Pecan Fest. And we had a deaccessioning sale where we got rid of a lot of stuff. There's still plenty more to go, but we raised over $700, which is really awesome for us, especially because we didn't price anything. It was just give what you want for it. And yeah, we made that much, so I'm really proud of it, especially because it was my idea. Yeah. And then I guess that is it, unless anybody else wants to come up. Yes, unspoken. May we hold all of those joys and concerns, spoken and unspoken, and remember those who are present and absent, remembered and forgotten. And now we move into our meditation on breathing. And now I am happy to introduce Brooke Pillifant. So Brooke has been a member of UU congregations in the past, but this is her first time with us. So I say we give her a warm, smooth welcome as she comes up to the pulpit.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm going to start with a poem by Emily Dickinson. A word is dead when it is said, some say. I say it just begins to live that day. Words hold immense power. They shape our thoughts, they fuel our passions, and they guide our actions. When spoken with intention and clarity, words can uplift individuals, offering hope and understanding. They invite us to reflect deeply, grow, and connect with our shared humanity. But their influence doesn't stop at the individual level. When we use words to speak out against injustice, to share stories of love, resilience, and equity, they have the power to ripple out and inspire collective social change. In our shared community, we know that words are not just sounds or symbols, they are a call to act, to heal, and to transform the world together. The power of words, whether in everyday conversation or poetic verse, has always had the ability to transform both the individual and societies. Poetry, with its long history of expressing the deepest human emotions and experiences, is a profound example of how words can move us to action and reflection. The rhythm and meaning of poetry have always had the potential to shift perspectives. In the same way that a single word can uplift or challenge an individual, poetry serves as a reminder that words are catalysts for both personal growth and collective transformation. Through poetry and everyday language alike, we can ignite hope, foster understanding, and fuel the drive for social change. Poetry, one of the oldest forms of human expression, has woven itself through the fabric of nearly every single culture in history. From the oral traditions of ancient civilizations, where poems were recited to honor gods, recount epic battles, or teach moral lessons, to the rich literary tapestries of ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Greece, poetry has always been a vessel for capturing the essence of human experience. Over time, it has evolved, shifting forms and styles from the structured verses of classical poets like Homer and Virgil to the free verse of modern poets like Walt Whitman. Whether through sonnets, haiku, or spoken word, poetry has continually reflected the emotions, struggles, and triumphs of societies, offering us a mirror to our souls and a tool for collective understanding. In the words of Calgary's poet laureate, Natalie Meisner, poetry, or the right words in the right order, can literally change someone's life and reorder the universe. I founded the organization Rough Draft in 2016 to bring together three of my passions: education, social justice, and writing. In the beginning, Rough Draft focused on narrative storytelling with incarcerated individuals. And a few years ago, I was presented with the opportunity to participate in a poetry postcard exchange. Basically, you write one poem a day on a postcard, and you mail them to a complete stranger. You do this for the entire month, for 31 days. You write something that's not edited, not thought about, not reworded, just a poem that comes straight from and out of you onto a page. In essence, a rough draft. It sparked my imagination for how we, as an organization, could incorporate something like this into our programming in the county jails. I had been wanting Rough Draft to move beyond the cinder block walls to help people feel heard within their community. Many of the individuals that we work with have had little positive interactions and reinforcement from the larger society. Erin Hand, an MFA student at Texas State University, heard me talking about this and helped me develop the program into what is now known as the Personhood Project. The program connects poets and incarcerated individuals together, and at the same time allows their poetry to be heard through a podcast, which is also broadcast locally on KZSM radio. The program has been in effect for several years, and I've seen people change in the most wonderful ways in this program based on their participation. I've seen maximum security individuals who open up about missing loved ones, and you can see tears spilling down their cheeks. I've seen people enthusiastic once again for life after sitting in jail for years to be heard and tell people that they're on a podcast. Have you heard my poetry? Did you know that you can hear it? Go listen to it in the free. They write it down on pieces of paper and send it to their friends and mail it to everyone that they know. I've seen these poets beaming with pride that they haven't had in years. And I've witnessed men and women continue to come to classes, engage with poetry, and be inspired to write about their lives. Their personal and powerful interaction with poetry gives them a space for their struggles and their pain to be heard and valued. While we are not a unique organization. We have several sister organizations. We have Poetry Express in New York, the Poetry Foundation in Chicago, and locally, the Penn City Writers out of UT Austin, who work with students that are incarcerated in South Texas. Although comprehensive large-scale studies directly measuring the impact of poetry programs on recidivism rates are extremely limited, the existing research does point to something profoundly hopeful. Poetry programs in prisons and jails offer incarcerated individuals a unique space for self-expression, emotional processing, and personal growth, which are all tools that have often been absent from their lives. By engaging in a creative process, the participants can confront their trauma, articulate their experiences, and envision new possibilities for themselves. And this kind of personal transformation fosters a deeper sense of agency and self-awareness, which may indirectly contribute to reducing recidivism. So, while we may not yet have all the data, the personal stories emerging from these programs tell us something vital. Poetry is not just about the words on a page. It's about healing, reflection, and the possibility of redemption. Through this creative outlet, we see how the power of words can touch even the most marginalized and overlooked, offering hope for change and a path towards reintegration in society. Bill Callahan, a former U.S. poet laureate, stated, "Poetry is a way of seeing the world anew, of finding language for the things that are often most difficult to express." In religion, the power of words is often seen as a sacred force capable of shaping reality itself. Words have the ability to create or destroy. They build communities of faith, they offer comfort, and they inspire spiritual growth. But they can also divide, condemn, and incite harm. In Christianity, the Bible declares, "In the beginning was the Word," linking the act of creation to language itself as God speaks the universe into existence. Similarly, in Judaism, the spoken word is central in prayer and the recitation of the Torah, emphasizing the power of words to uphold moral law and divine will. In Hinduism, the sound Om represents the cosmic vibration that connects all things, a word that is believed to sustain the universe. Islam also places deep importance on the power of words, with the Quran regarded as the literal word of God. And in many indigenous cultures, words are believed to carry spiritual energy, with storytelling, prayers, and songs serving as a way to maintain harmony with the natural world and the ancestors. Buddhism teaches the practice of right speech as part of the Noble Eightfold Path, highlighting the ethical responsibility to speak truthfully and kindly, understanding that words can either promote peace or cause harm. And in ancient Egypt, one of my favorite, the goddess Ma'at represents truth and order, and the spoken word was considered crucial in maintaining cosmic balance. So as you can see, across these diverse spiritual landscapes, the power of words is consistently seen as a force that can either create, heal, and uplift, or destroy, condemn, and divide. Whether spoken in prayer, scripture, or daily conversation, words carry the profound ability to transform individuals and influence the broader world. It's our responsibility to use them wisely, with intention and reverence, understanding that they hold the potential to shape realities in ways both seen and unseen. The power of collective chanting, singing together, and call-and-response rituals has also been recognized across cultures and spiritual practices for centuries. These acts tap into the shared energy of a group, amplifying the emotional and spiritual connection among individuals and fostering a sense of unity. When voices come together in chant or song, a powerful resonance is created, one that can elevate participants beyond the individual self and into a collective consciousness. This shared rhythm and harmony can create a sacred space where people feel deeply connected to each other, to a higher power, or to the natural world around them. In many religious traditions, collective chanting and singing is a tool for healing, meditation, and transformation. Again, in Buddhism, for example, chanting mantras is a way to focus the mind, align oneself with compassionate energies, or clear negative energies. In Hinduism, the repetition of the sound Om, or verses from holy texts, allows individuals to connect with the divine and with the community of fellow believers. In many African spiritual traditions, call and response patterns during rituals or songs serve as a form of spiritual dialogue, where participants engage directly with the divine or with each other, reinforcing collective bonds and a shared purpose. Call and response in particular has a unique power, and it's one of my favorite. It invites participation from all involved. It blurs the lines between leader and congregation, performer and audience, The act of responding affirms a shared message, allowing each participant to feel seen, heard, and valued. Because each voice, no matter how loud or how quiet, contributes to the larger whole, reminding all participants involved that they are an equal part of a community. So I would like for you to join me in a call and response focused, since it is close to Samhain, on a pagan harvest. Now, I'm calling it a call and response, but my son actually, when I was testing this out, reminded me that this is technically called a sea shanty, because you will be repeating the same words over and over again, and I will be repeating different words. So put on your best pirate hat and get ready for a good pagan sea shanty. All right, and your part will be, and the mill wheel turns. And the mill and the mill stands ever by the stream, and the mill wheel turns. The miller breaks the wheat from the chaff, and the mill wheel turns. The miller grinds the grain and the kern, and the mill wheel turns, and makes bread for flour as seasons do pass. The stream is the God's force, the wheel is the world. And we are the grain to be ground in the earth. The stream is our strength in world after world. The wheel is our drive as our lessons are learned. The mill grinds us down, our chaff beats away. The earth breaks our bodies and sets our souls free. With the strength of the stream by night and by day, we are broken from what is and become what will be. We gain and we grow and we are not overcome. And we rise evergreen with the moon and the sun. We accept it, we welcome it, we rejoice in it. May the wheel of change turn forever for us. So mote it be. Thank you for your participation in that sea shanty. All right, throughout history, words have held the power to transform societies and inspire action. From ancient religious texts to the speeches of modern-day leaders, words have not only shaped individual beliefs, but have also fueled movements for justice. In times of turmoil, our words comfort, provide guidance, and offer hope. And in a similar way, words have the power to console, inspire, and strengthen those who fight for justice, reminding us of our shared humanity and our higher goals. Justice has often been ignited by powerful words that stir people to action. The civil rights movement is a clear example of how the right words at the right time can rally individuals to challenge injustice. Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech echoed across generations, using the power of language to give voice to a deep yearning for equality. The speeches, sermons, and songs of the civil rights era became a moral compass, encouraging people to take a stand for what is right. And similarly, the songs of enslaved Africans, filled with messages of hope and freedom, used words not only as expressions of faith and survival, but also as quiet acts of resistance. Protests, marches, and rallies throughout history have been driven by the collective power of words. Whether they're written on signs, they're shouted through megaphones, or they're chanted by crowds, these words bring people together. They unite them under a common cause. In the women's suffrage movement, the anti-apartheid struggle, and the fight for LGBTQ+ rights, slogans and chants have echoed in the streets, reminding us that words have the power to galvanize and build society. They make the visible, often invisible connections between people, binding them to a shared mission and a vision for the future. Today, in the midst of our political divisions and social unrest, words remain as powerful as ever. The
The words we speak and write have the potential to unite us in a common front, pushing us for change. They inspire hope, challenge the status quo, and force us to confront uncomfortable truths. The power of words to inspire change, unite communities, and offer hope resonates deeply with the Unitarian Universalist values of justice and transformation. At the heart of Unitarian Universalism is a commitment to building a more just and equitable world, and words have always been a key tool in that mission. The speeches, songs, and chants of activists have stirred people to action, embodying our shared principles of dignity, equity, and compassion. These words call us to engage in active work of justice, urging us to speak out against oppression and listen with an open heart to the voices calling for change. Unitarian Universalists understand that justice is not merely just an abstract ideal, but something that we must work towards every single day. Words are a vehicle for that work. The rich history of using words to bring about justice reminds us that transformation begins as we speak out for fairness, when we listen to those seeking freedom. Just as our spiritual practices like prayer, meditation, and chanting bring comfort and insight, words can soothe the soul while also fueling our collective efforts for justice. The power of words also finds expression in programs that focus on transformation within incarcerated communities, where Unitarian Universalist values of justice and redemption come to life. Poetry programs in jails provide those who are incarcerated with a way to express themselves, process emotions, and envision a future beyond their past actions. These programs offer individuals a chance at personal transformation, an opportunity to use words to heal, reflect, and grow. And in doing so, they align with the UU belief in the inherent worth and dignity of every person, reminding us that even in the darkest circumstances, there is potential for change and redemption. The creative power of words in these settings is not just about personal growth, but about engaging with a larger justice system that often marginalizes and dehumanizes. For Unitarian Universalists, transformation is about both personal spiritual development and societal change. Poetry programs for incarcerated individuals like Rough Draft represent this dual path, offering a way for people to reconnect with themselves while also challenging systems of injustice. Through these programs, words become a force for justice, helping to restore the humanity of those who are often forgotten by society. Whether spoken in our congregations, lifted up in movements for change, or expressed through poetry behind prison or jail walls, words are central to our shared journey towards justice, equity, and transformation. So please, as you leave this sacred space, may we remember to use our words wisely as we go forward, and always with compassion. Amen, and blessed be. Thank you.
And now we will begin closing out our service. Thank you, Brooke, so much for your wise words. If everybody would please turn to page 168 as we sing One More Step. Please rise if you are able.
Till there is peace for us.
And now we will extinguish the chalice. The words will be on the screen. We extinguish the chalice here, that it might glow gently in our hearts, that it will light our path as we leave this place. May it guide our way until we are together again. And while we do not have a benediction today, I think the only benediction we really need is to carry it home and carry home everything that we heard today to our friends and our family. And also just remembering that the power of words is something that is not just specific to this time. So please join me in singing Carry It Home. Please join us for coffee and fellowship in the fellowship hall. And thank you to our musicians today. We have Mark Haygood on the piano, Teresa Rusted on the bass, Erica Nielsen as our song leader, and our beloved Smooth Choir under the direction of Carol Horton today.
Well, I don't know how you did, because I didn't.
I was like listening for these certain intro notes, and you were the step ahead or step behind. Man, all I did was